This is Lord Mafka, aka Rogan Azran, back at you with another video. And in today's video, I want to talk about why the Western world is doomed. I've been wanting to get around to this topic, man, but there's been so much going on, and I'm currently still looking for employment, man. It's rough out here, and that's another big thing to why the Western world is just doomed. Like, unemployment is just skyrocketing, guys, for average men especially. But shouts out to all you guys who support the channel, and let's get into the video. You know, the Western world has lived so long enough to where it's became so liberated. We have all these different type of beliefs on equality. Men and women literally have given up their traditional roles to just fit another narrative that isn't natural for a functioning society. And you wonder why we see people with so many mental issues nowadays, especially men, because we aren't getting any type of natural desires met that we have biologically. And that's where it comes into the matter of fact of us detaching from that and trying to adapt quicker to this situation we find ourselves in, especially as men in the Western world. You look around today, people are at odds with each other. People are constantly arguing over this ideology, that ideology, who you should vote for, how you should live your life, how you should cut your grass. People argue over the most redundant and useless things. And the fact that you still have people out here thinking that them arguing over and over again on the same topics is actually going to enact some type of physical change in the real world is ridiculous and just moronic, man. I mean, look around, like, nothing has gotten better. How many politicians have came along that a few of them were probably somewhat good people at first, but what happened to people like John F. Kennedy? You know, they tend to get deleted, as I should say, keeping it clean, right? So if we know that this world has always the type of evil means in store for people that are decent, then you have no choice but to play the game at your own pace, because you know everything that you do is pretty much predestined. You have a society to where you're not getting any affection. You have a society to where the family structure is broken. You have all these type of different views on life that literally contradict how civilizations have lasted for this long. Like, look at how low the birth rates are getting in the Western world. I mean, it's ridiculous to how people still deny this fact and say, oh, you still see couples around, so that disproves that dating is just horrible in 2024. I mean, you have to be an idiot to think this. Ask any person around you about how their dating life is, and most likely they're going to tell you that it's horrible, it's a nightmare. It makes them wish they were never born, man. So when we look at the day's world, we actually really see all of the trash, all of the horrible stuff underneath it. People that are corrupt running these corporations to where they're literally pumping just different chemicals in our food. They're literally poisoning our air. Just doing everything to keep us so dumbed down. And you look at the amount of fluoride they're putting in this water today is just, it's insane. And it shows you how society is literally designing itself to try and just destroy itself from the inside out. So the people who are in charge, the people who keep us fighting against each other on the topics of men versus women, political rights, how we should view one another for whatever endeavors we want to pursue in our life, it just keeps them in power. Meanwhile, we're fighting over the scrapings, the crumbs, like the roaches we are, and don't even realize that we should be getting to the heap of the problem here. But we're never going to unite and all quit our jobs and stop working for this workforce, because everyone is basically a complacent just slave in the society. Why do you think people love messages of just shiny rainbowish hope. They love hearing these people speak about, I'm going to do this better for you. I'm going to do that for you. So basically, human beings in general love sweet little lies told to them so it can give them something to just keep living for. And that's really sad when you think about it. To not be able to see the world realistically and still be able to function in it is at your detriment, because what happens once your little false hope is broken apart and no one is no longer in your life? What happens when you're a man that's been rejected 24/7 by your family, by women especially, by your peers? Jobs reject you left and right. What happens then? So that should tell you right there that you need to stay grounded in reality much as you can, and that has to do with analytical thinking, always observing things, counting things on probability, not possibilities. The probability has to come first and then the possibility. But the problem in today's Western world, especially, is there is no possibility or high probability for anything working out for you as a man in today's society. The only probable thing for most men is sitting in our rooms, not feeling so great about ourselves, literally feeling like we're just manure in the sewer, feeling like we're just disgusting, worthless human beings who should not be alive. Meanwhile, you have the very few people like the Chaz, the Stacys, the Tyrones, the Monicas, the Trishas, the Chinos who get to enjoy somewhat more of the luxury of life. And pretty much for how things are going in today's society is it's favoring the negative majority, if anything. Because you guys have to understand something else as well is the adherence of evil is always going to do everything it can to pursue and have its goal met. But meanwhile, us people that are good, we lack the type of boldness, we lack the type of relentlessness to actually meet and have our goals come true, because we just put all these morality parameters on ourselves, and that limits us for not taking any type of action that can actually benefit us, because we've been too indoctrinated in programming to think that, oh, some magical god is watching over your every action. You need to do this and that correctly. I mean, why do you think they tell you this stuff? It's to keep you brainwashed and scared on the inside so you can't face yourself. And that's what this society loves, is a man who cannot face his fears and accept himself for who he really is. They need you to keep lying to yourself. They need you to keep saying, oh, Western society is going to get better. We're going to go back to a more patriotical and traditional society. Guys, it's never coming back. Like, it's beyond over at this point. I mean, you might as well save up all your finance as you can from working your miserable job. Do your best to get employed if you're unemployed like myself right now, and just endure and stick out all this crap. I mean, we face worse challenges, than this. So focus on your finance and moving the hell off the grid out of the Western world, because this place is literally a hellhole now. And I know basically pretty much all over the world, it's pretty bad everywhere. It sucks. But the thing is, when it comes to the Western world, is you're never going to be left alone. You're always going to have propaganda. You're always going to have people trying to influence you just even more harder to be a certain way. And once you disagree with these people, they're going to either try to get you fired, they're going to try and spread rumors about you and ruin your reputation and possibly get you locked up. I mean, this is literally how society is working for men, especially nowadays. I mean, look at how many men are literally just bankrupt emotionally. A lot of men have emotional bankruptcy, meaning they never got to experience the real type of affection of having a loving and compassionate family. They never got to go out and do activities with their peers, their family, with the women that they actually are interested in dating, who should like them back for most part, right? They never get to do any of these things. You would think as young men in our 20s and mid 20s, we would be able to go out with a young lady and be able to almost be about to have a family right now and own our own houses. But all these older people do not understand that things have changed so much to where we literally cannot barely afford to keep food on the table. If you're a young person such as myself, if you have roommates or you're on your own or still with your parents, you basically can't do anything because everything will cost you literally your whole existence just to get it paid. Like, inflation is no joke. But this is why I tell you guys, you really have to start detaching yourself from this world and only worrying about what gives you pleasure. Screw all these indoctrinations about you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. Well, how about you do what keeps you sane? Just do what works for you and make sure that it actually can have it to where you can deal with the reality that you're in a healthy way, because mental health is a very big crisis for us Western men. You're not getting any love from women, your family, your co-workers aren't listening to you, you're being neglected 24/7 in all aspects. So you got to do things to keep yourself sane, because most people are only looking to tear you down in this world, guys. But this world and the West is crumbling, and it's going to be laughable to see them all scrambling, run to fix their economy once they see that it's all just in brimstone and fire from their actions, because they chose not to listen to certain people when they were in a time of need, especially men. But you guys take care. Like and subscribe if you're new. Tell me what else you guys want me to elaborate on in the comment sections. I would highly appreciate it. I'll probably be gone a few days, guys, because it's like I tell you, you got to take a break from this stuff, guys. So I'll see you in a bit. But you guys take care. And like I always tell you guys, stay away from the modern women. Thank you.